Call Can Do 423-381-3427.
Chris Cosby is the president and CEO of Parkridge Health System. Chris, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Hey, good morning. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. And, you were here last week during Empty Stocking Fun.
I was.
And Mark Smith, who owns many of the McDonald's in this area, those very popular Grinch socks, he put them up for auction. You made a bid. And, buddy, you were the winner. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate that. I'll love to help your cause. The fact that your granddad started that and you've carried on that tradition and what you're doing for the kids is awesome. So super happy to get the socks, but more happy that it's going to what it's going to.
And thank you for what you personally did, and also Parkridge Health System. So let's talk about it, because a lot of people are. What's the I want to go back. What's the thought process behind the Parkridge freestanding ERs and ER? And how sustainable are those long term in your opinion?
Yeah, it's the ability to bring ER closer to your home, giving you an additional access, giving you the ability to make a choice when you need ER, because minutes matter, and you need that in your backyard. I've heard this narrative about is it sustainable? Absolutely. This will be our 4th freestanding ER in the region, and HCA, who our parent company, they have around 190 freestanding ERs throughout this country. It's a very sustainable model. It is about making sure when people need help at the ER, when minutes matter, it's in their backyard. Is it a very sustainable business model, for sure.
Chris Cosby is the president and CEO of Parkridge Health System. And so if the ER is approved here in Brindley County and built, tell me the process about, a patient comes to this, if it's approved, right, to your ER. Are they just going to automatically go to Parkridge and Chattanooga? That's been a question.
Yeah, I've heard those questions. People's had those questions directly to me. Absolutely not. You have a legal right to decide how your care is done. So when you come into an ER, it's our job to help you find the answer. Something's not right. You're scared to death. Your anxiety's through the roof. You're looking for an answer. And we have to help find that answer. And so once we find that answer, what the problem is, it's a really low percentage. It's 3 to 7% of the patients who come in the ER that get admitted. So on average, 1 to 3 a day. There's some days there's 0. There's some days there's 3. That's why it's an average of 3 to 7%. But once we do our discovery and find out what's wrong with you, we're going to come to you to advise you, hey, here's what's going on, here's what you need. At that point, it's your decision to decide where you go. If you're like, hey, no, I want to stay here local in Bradley, we'll make that happen. If you say, hey, my cardiologist is at a different hospital in downtown Chattanooga, we're going to call that hospital and we're going to get you there. It's your health care. Health care is personal. I think that's one thing people need to make sure is when you access health care, it's something that's personal to you. It's personal to your family. And it's our job to help relieve that anxiety, get you an answer, and then get you to the place that's best for you and your family at that moment.
We're joined by Chris Cosby. He is the president and CEO of Parkridge Health System. So again, just to underscore, the patient has the legal right to choose where they go next.
Absolutely. It is their decision to where they go. I mean, where we're putting this thing in OPD 40, corner of Blackburn Road, we're not only bringing care closer to Bradley County, we're also bringing care closer to Southwest and Polk County. I spent a lot of time in Polk County yesterday, and we're there to serve Polk. We're there to make sure they have additional access. But that location really helps Southwest and Polk and the rest of Polk, but we want to be good partners with them as well.
Chris Cosby, president and CEO of Parkridge Health System. All right, so how can people get involved in helping bring the ER to the region?
I tell you, the support so far in this community has been overwhelming. I've really enjoyed my time here. It reminds me of where I grew up in Dothan, Alabama. And my mom's from Wicksburg, Alabama, which screams Polk County. And they're that close together. And so I'm very passionate about this project because it's things more personal, because it brings me close to where I grew up. And so they can go to ParkridgeClevelandER.com, ParkridgeClevelandER.com, and you can fill out this little form, and it'll do a letter of support, and we need those. The state's going to need those, because when we go to Nashville on January 28th to gain approval, we're going to need those letters of support.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you and your family.
You as well. Yeah, Chris Cosby, president and CEO of Parkridge Health System. All right, tell you what, let's get a news up.